Harry moved through the earth like a needle through silk. His body was a lean line of muscle. He did not miss a single turn. He was a creature of pure efficiency. Zipping through the dirt with a rhythmic, he pressed his snout against a narrow gap in the rock, looking up. Far above, a flickering neon sign from a distant fast food joint cast a harsh, artificial glow into the dark. It hummed with the promise of something beyond bitter roots and beetles. He looked at his best friend, who sat in the shadows with eyes that wandered in separate directions. Harry gestured toward the light, explaining the hunger that gnawed at his ribs, the desire to taste the world beyond the dirt. His friend tilted his head, eyes unblinking, and offered a simple two-word directive. Gopher It. Harry felt the weight of those words settle into his chest. Harry clawed his way to the surface. He bypassed the roots and found the dumpster. Grease dripped. He ate the prize, tight and hard. The next morning, the craving returned with a sharper edge. He found a discarded ice cream cone melting on the hot pavement. He inhaled the sugar, oblivious to the sharp, stabbing pain of brain freeze. Days bled into weeks. The buffet expanded. He scavenged fries, pizza crusts, and sodden buns. The rhythm of his life changed. The lean, aerodynamic lines of his body began to blur. His muscles softened. He moved slower. Each day, the journey to the surface became more of a labor. He stopped zipping through the tunnels and started waddling. The needle had become a ball. He sat in his burrow, breathing heavily. His fur stretched taut over a frame that no longer fit the narrow passages of the colony. He was heavy. He was sluggish. He was entirely consumed by the cycle of the next meal. He looked at his reflection in a puddle of spilled soda and barely recognized the round, immobile creature staring back. The evening air was thick with the smell of exhaust as Harry waddled back to the entrance of his tunnel. He pushed his snout into the hole, but his hips caught on the jagged earth. He shoved, grunted, and pushed again. His belly, swollen and dense, met the wall with a hollow thud. The tunnel, once a spacious highway, was now a dead end. He retracted, breathless, and tried to rotate, but he was wedged tight against the dirt. With a desperate heave, he backed out, tumbling onto the grass. He was trapped outside. The colony was no longer an option. Harry dragged himself toward the edge of the road, his chest heaving with every labored breath. The highway ahead was a blur of motion. Cars roared past, wind whipping his fur, the ground vibrating under the force of passing steel. Beside him, two of his friends stood waiting. They were still thin, still nimble, their bodies shadows in the dim light. They shifted their weight with ease, looking at the road, then at Harry. He tried to mimic their stance, but his legs moved with the sluggishness of a sedated tortoise. Road's chasm, an ocean. Friends vanished into dark grass. Harry stood alone on the shoulder as a car whizzed past. Harry stepped onto the blacktop. Each movement was a chore, his weight shifting heavily with every step. The asphalt was rough, radiating the day's heat against his paws. He pushed forward, desperate to reach the grass on the other side, but his muscles burned with fatigue. Halfway across, his legs gave out. He stumbled, claws scraping uselessly against the hard surface, and collapsed. He tried to scramble up. A pair of blinding yellow headlights flooded the space around him. In a moment, he vanished before his friend's eyes from the impact. On the far side of the road, the two friends stood still, watching the dust settle. He stepped toward the edge of the asphalt, his nose twitching. "Too much premium meat to waste," he whispered. He gestured toward the road. The simple friend stared into the void, his expression never changing, and uttered his final words, "Gopher It."
You're real?
The screen flickered and cut to black, replaced by a stark white message. Don't let friends eat you alive. Trust your gut.